When did I get to Athens? 1975. Came here. I went to University of the South first for a year and a half, and then I came down to Athens because I wanted to be an art major. So, and when I was raised up in Atlanta, Athens wasn't on my radar at all, and especially not going to UGA because back then, like only the dumbest of the dumb went to UGA. Like, it was always your fallback school because anyone would get in. So, my dad went here and he was like so excited for me to come to UGA, and I was like, Dad, this is like so embarrassing. But they had an amazing art department. So anyway, once I came over here, then I was like, I'm never going back to Atlanta because it was just chock full of cool, creative people and, no traffic. And, I still don't want to go back to Atlanta. I graduated in drawing and painting, so I was going to be an artist. So I did that for about 10 years. I did oil paintings and sold them pretty well, and just had shows wherever I could get one, at libraries or churches or, wherever I had a free space and wouldn't charge them anything. And kind of had my painting business was all going great. Until 87, I had a show in Atlanta and I'd sold some paintings, but there was a little stock market crash then and all the red dots disappeared off of all the paintings. And then I was like, oh, I better get into something that's lower price points. And just ordered some clay and glazes, and a friend bought me used kiln for $200, and I just got a rolling pin and started rolling out balls of clay and making plates with no concept how to do that. And the minute I started making them, they started selling, so I just had to keep up ever since. The first 10 years was so stressful because I bootstrapped and we were always growing, and you go, oh, that's great, but the problem is when your company is always growing, you always need to be throwing workers at it, getting more equipment, getting more supplies, but you don't have enough money. You're always ahead of the game. You don't have the money coming in to afford to buy all that stuff, so you're always in the hole. So like the first 10 years, we were always like $10,000 in the hole. And every month I was stressed out, should I pay my water bill at home, or should I pay the water bill here, or should I not eat, or, which bill wouldn't get paid that month. And then every year I would be like, oh my God, this is so stressful. And then I would wonder if I should continue, but then I'd be like, I've already put 2 years into it, 3 years in it. What if I knew that, like, if I just hung on there 6 more months, then, things would turn around. So I would always decide to just do it another year since I'd already had so much in it. And finally, the 10th year, we got our first website up, we had a color catalog, and we got this big gift show in New York. So we were like, yes, we're going to finally make it. And we still were struggling. And then I went to a depression to the max for like 4 months and couldn't even come to work. I was just like, I can't deal with it anymore. I would just get by on little cash sales. I mean, we didn't even have the store. We didn't have any kind of store like this. We just had a pile in the corner that people could go through and get seconds and stuff. And I would take whatever little cash sales out of there and just, but it was so cheap. I mean, our mortgage was $300. We didn't have any cell phones or cable to pay for, any of that. So, and probably had a used car or something. Just cheaper to be broke back then. But still, I finally just started putting one foot in front of the other and kept going. And finally, the 11th year, I was able to get a paycheck.
I met Rebecca in 2005. My wife was working here at the time, and I think I met her at a New Year's Eve party. I think she was trying to get everybody to dance, and that's what I kind of remember about meeting Rebecca. I wouldn't see myself working in a pottery studio, but now that I'm here, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, Rebecca and I get along really well. We're actually very similar in the ways that we move about this world and the way we discuss and talk about the world. So now it makes a lot of sense, but before, no, I would have never thought pottery.
She takes in artists of all types, like musicians and visual artists and things like that, and we have the ability to work here because she gets it. So like if people have to take off and go on tour, or if they have to go, like work on art, she's like, go do it and come back.
I've got tons of ideas, but getting too old to enact all the ideas. But one thing I really would like to do is make a flower arranging school in Athens. That's one of my side things I do, is teach Japanese flower arranging, because our motto here is beauty every day. And that's like, well, that's two things. I have a big thing about people getting disconnected from nature and not being more hardwired to their iPhone than they are to the natural world. And one way you can combat that, besides getting out in nature, is bringing nature in. back in the day when I was here from like 75 to 85, I mean, the teachers that are around still remember that time because it just happened that there was a ton of artistic geniuses and musical geniuses that were here at the same time. So it was a huge cross-fertilizing melting pot of creativity that attracted other people here. And like the more creative people here, the more want to come here. And now it's just like we have all the culture you can want and none of the traffic. So, you know, we've just got the creatives here. So that's why I get pissed sometimes at our local government that acts like the arts are, you know, the arts draw a lot of people here and draw a lot of money here and give a culture to this town that if you only had football culture, you know, wouldn't be that great. So